Welcome back to more Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Last time, we completed the final treasure roads, so this time, all that's left is the Ultimate Cup Z. First of all, I want to make another stop at Wildy's Cafe. Welcome, what can I get ya? Maxim Tomato, got it. That'll be 100 star coins. Would you like to eat this here or take it to go? Thanks. You'll hold your to-go order as a stock item. When you need a pick-me-up, hold down X. One thing I should mention is you can use items for this and still get a 100% clear. Any times cleared, or any clear times that use items will actually have an indicator to say that you used these items. So like double health, increased attack power for a set amount of time that you can extend, and also a speed up for a set amount of time that you can extend. On my personal playthrough, I did use this, and it was close, but I actually think I'll be able to get through this without the double health and the increased attack power, so I'd like to give this a legit try. If not, I might actually skip ahead to where we left off and then actually use some of the items to speed things up. But we'll give this a try and see how this goes. Welcome to the Coliseum. If you're here to enter a tournament, you came to the right spot. The Ultimate Cup Z is now available at the Coliseum. Challenging battles with ferocious bosses await you. Kirby, I should warn you about the Ultimate Cup Z. The Ultimate Cup Z takes place in some other realm, where you'll face intense battles with scary foes. I can't follow you into that arena, and worse than that, I can't commentate over your battles. But I know you'll survive. No, I know you'll win. After all, you just saved this entire world. We can't follow you into this mysterious arena, but we'll be watching from here. It looks like our first fight is against mini-bosses. We have Wild, Bonkers, and Florina to deal with. Luckily, I was able to actually use the charge attack first, but look how much health that recovered. I think it recovers more health, actually, if you have the larger sword. I'm not entirely sure on that. But yeah, this is why this ability is really good. Try to keep sword beams as much as you can. But even if you lose sword beams, as long as you don't take too much damage, you'll be able to get them back pretty easily. I almost feel like it's proportional to health, or damage dealt. So like, if you deal a lot of damage, you recover more health, but I'm not sure on that. No fear, not even in this mysterious arena. Our pink prize fighter is on fire. Also, by the way, we don't have Maxim tomatoes. We only have regular tomatoes, and 6 of them. So try to hold on to as much health as you can. You're also only given one other copy ability. In this case, it's Buzzsaw Cutter, which, as we've seen, I am not the best with. So we are not going to take that. Our next foe appears to be Phantom Claraline. So, in a way, a lot of these fights actually are not too bad with Morpho Knight, but I still want to be careful. I did a test run after my original run where I used a ton of items, and I found that I could get through most of it without healing, but basically I would need 1 extra heal, so that's why I stopped to get the Maxim Tomato. Again, this is with Morpho Knight, by the way. Trying this without Morpho Knight's sword would be a totally different story, and one that would definitely end way worse. People have obviously done this with other copy abilities, but I'm not that good at the game. I know I've been saying this a lot this playthrough, but this song is actually really good. Alright, so we have the clones again here. We actually took damage there, which isn't great. I'll actually try to gain a little health back here by using regular attacks. There's also another property to Morpho Knight's Sword that I kind of mentioned previously. If you guard and hold down Y, if I can actually... I might have to show this off in the rest area, actually. It might not be a good idea to show this in battle. Alright, gotta dodge again, but this should be the last cycle. We should be able to finish off Phantom Clarline. Hooey, that last battle looked tough. Keep going, Kirby, we believe in you. I just noticed something. If you deal the last hit with like the final hit of the combo, it actually doesn't restore any health. So that's good to keep in mind. But there is a secret attack with Morpho Knight that I just remembered to show off. If you guard and hold Y, you can charge up and then summon the Phantom or the Forgodd souls like Morpho Knight did in his boss fight. So that's pretty cool. Very ominous, but cool. I'm not sure how effective this is, so let's actually try it against the next boss. Next up is Phantomtropic Woods. So these will home in. I was hoping they would actually drain health too, but sadly they don't. Honestly, this will be a good opportunity to try to gain health back and hopefully hold on to some health. I'm actually going to play this fight a little bit carefully to try to gain back our missing health. Again, we only have 6 tomatoes, not even maximum tomatoes, but just regular tomatoes for this whole arena run. I keep calling it an arena, even though it's a Coliseum, technically, in terms of its official name, but it's always been called the arena up until Star Allies, so I just instinctively call it that. We have the roots now, which are a lot more like chaotic and aggressive than they were in the original fight. I'm actually going to stop and destroy the roots. On purpose, to try to gain back a little bit of health. Oh, you can fly over those. I was actually wondering if you actually had to stand on the roots to get over those. But yeah, you can just fly over. But yeah, I am purposefully destroying these to gain back as much health as we can. I say as I took damage anyway, unfortunately, so didn't gain back as much in this fight as I would have hoped. Yeah, if you use the health items and like the attack booster, obviously the fight will be a lot easier, or the whole arena run will be a lot easier. You know, 10 minutes of attack, or not 10 minutes, 1,000 seconds of attack up is actually a lot, and we'll get you through most of this, at least from what I experienced. So yeah, I definitely would recommend that if you want to like get 100% but don't necessarily want to fight everything and like struggle through all of this. I think that's perfectly valid. He's doing great in there, folks. Keep it up, Kirby, and good luck. 9 more to go, and looks like we have more mini-bosses. Next up, we have Wild Frosty and Wild Edge. First up is Wild Frosty. Again, mini-bosses are also a great way, or a great opportunity to gain back a little bit of health if possible. Again, I think it is proportional, because the mini-bosses do take more damage, and seem to give back more health. So yeah, this is a good opportunity to heal if you're using Morpho Knight. If you're not using the Morpho Knight sword, then yeah, just try to not take a lot of damage and get through fights as quickly as possible. I'm not overly concerned about like best times or anything, especially since this isn't even my main file, but I would like to get through this relatively without too much trouble. That's what I'm trying to say. Another intense battle surely awaits. Take a moment to rest, Kirby. 8 more to go, and next up is Phantom Garmando. Also, we're being given Buzzsaw Cutter a lot, and I do not want it. I am a little bit tempted to take a heal because actually having the range of the sword beams would be nice against Phantom Garmando. But I think I will save them for later. Also, by the way, you can still use Amiibo. We haven't actually gone over what Amiibo do, but in short, the Kirby series Amiibo, to my understanding, I frankly have not scanned a single Amiibo in this game, and I only have one Kirby Amiibo. I technically have two, but they're both Kirby, the Smash Kirby and the Robobot Kirby. But apparently, I will go over this later in more detail. I'll double check what they all do and show off the one I have. But from what I gather, scanning Amiibo will give you the items for free, basically. So like double health, increased attack, and stuff like that. But again, I haven't really verified that yet. I was planning to show that a little bit later. But apparently, non-Kirby Amiibo still work. Like they'll give you, like star coins and stuff. Stuff that isn't as helpful, but it's all nice. But like in Robobot, I want to say, I think there is still a cap of how many Amiibo you can scan per day. But again, I'll double check all this and talk about it a little bit later. Alright, so let's get ready for the next battle. I am not entirely sure what to do here, to be honest. That's a very bad start. Immediately getting attacked there. I was supposed to dodge over that. It looks like even if we don't perform the full combo, we still get a little bit of health back, which is nice. You can kind of hear the health restoration sound a little bit. Yeah, I do feel like you get more health from like mini bosses than like full bosses. But then again, I'm trying to think, are the mini bosses different? Like, are there tougher versions of the mini bosses, or are they still, because they're not like, it's not like Phantom, Wild Edge and stuff like that. So maybe there isn't as much of a difference unless they are weaker to begin with. So yeah, I'd actually be curious to like test the health regen on other enemies. This is not going great, which is again part of the reason why I was like, should I heal before this? The answer is, yeah, I should have, definitely. But here we are, we're gonna keep trying, and hope for the best here. Alright, I almost feel like being a little bit more careful, but it's kind of a unique, or it's kind of a tough call, because on one hand, if you deal damage really quickly, the fight lasts less time, and thus you have less opportunities to take damage. On the other hand, if you're dealing a lot of damage, you might be taking risks, and might be setting yourself up to take more damage. So it's like trying to balance offense and defense, which is not entirely easy in this game. I was trying to use a charge attack, but I only got a level 2 charge attack, unfortunately, which wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. Alright, we're actually kind of close to death, so I'm actually going to take this a little bit slowly and carefully. I would really like to not heal for a bit, but I'm actually not entirely sure what my options are. Because we're not having a great success rate of gaining back health from the actual fights, but I don't really want to use the tomatoes, and especially not the maximum tomato until much later. Which is part of the fun of the arenas, is trying to like item manage. I need to dodge more. Our hero is a veteran of battle. Folks, some circles call him the Pink Demon. I feel like that's been used in another game. Like... yeah, I feel like that's from one of the other Kirby games. Because that sounds really familiar. But in any case, our next opponent is... Phantom Kingdiddy. I may be misremembering. I think I am misremembering. Never mind. I was thinking that something was the case, but I don't think it actually is. At some point, I think the fights are fixed, but I want to say I fought Silly Dillo first, so I think this one is still one of the like non-predetermined fights. I think it starts with Forgodd, Kingdiddy, that the fights are like in order, basically. Alright, so tons of Gordos. I don't know if we saw a lot of the attacks of this fight originally, because we kind of flew through it, I want to say. So far, so good. It is interesting to see. Also, the hammer doesn't despawn as fast as I thought it did. I thought it did when I first played, but maybe not. There we go. That's what I've been trying to do against multiple bosses. Just use the big sword. Again, preferably not taking damage from the column. So we're at half health, which isn't ideal. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, that wasn't great, because that means we can't counterattack very easily since we have to, like, float over everything. Also, this is really icy. Wasn't this icy originally, like, in the original fight? Or is that added for the Phantom fight? I'm actually trying to remember. It's been a bit. Alright, almost there, but he has retreated to start throwing more bar Gordos at us. Is it bar Gordo or Gordo bar? I keep forgetting, actually. Alright, Shockwave. You've come so far, Kirby. Prepare for the next round. We're rooting for you. Again, I'm actually kind of like, do we heal right now? Silly Dillo isn't exactly the easiest fight. But we still have like 6 more fights to go, so I'm like, should we hold off and try to get through this? Or will it be risky? By the way, something worth mentioning before we jump into this. There is a retry option. You can spend star coins to retry. I'm not sure if that like reflects on your like time, or if it'll like give you a time penalty or something. Or obviously, I feel like it might add the time onto your existing run or something like that. Like, I discovered this, but I didn't actually finish the run. So I actually don't know what it does if you retry from the middle, but you also are given the opportunity to just restart an arena run. So yeah, I'm actually not entirely sure how that works, but yeah, that also makes it a little bit easier again. At least for 100%, none of this will affect unlocking everything. It will like mark your file differently if you use items and things like that. Alright, it's time for Phantom Silly Dillo, who in some ways I actually feel like is a little bit easier. Maybe not, actually. I was thinking about the handmade Kirby attack actually making this easier, but I don't think it actually does. I think it's harder to dodge that than the cage, because with the cage, at least Silly Dillo is like staggered. Alright, round 2. Let's see how this goes. Like we found out last time, Silly Dillo is not staggered after rolling, unlike the standard Silly Dillo fight. I almost wish more of Meta Knight's, or more of Knight's attacks actually would heal. I feel like not that many do, to the point where, yeah, you basically have to land like very specific attacks to get this to actually work. So yeah, dodge the cage. Does the charge attack heal? I actually haven't been paying attention. It does not, alright, so that's... I'm not entirely sure how to feel about that, to be honest. On one hand, it's a very good attack anyway. On the other hand, it would be nice to get health back from that, especially since it deals a ton of damage. So yeah, it's almost like a risk versus reward. Like, obviously you could heal by using the regular combo, but it also takes a long time to actually get through all 3 hits. The charge attack also takes a long time, but deals a ton of damage without actually healing. So yeah, it's kind of like, if you need to heal, you have one option, if you don't need to heal, you might want to go for like the sword attack instead. Alright, so phase 3, now we have a sandstorm to contend with. Alright. Also, Morpho Knight's actually really good against Silly Dillo, because of like the dodging. The ability to just dodge and essentially like teleport out of the way makes things fights like this a lot easier. Honestly, if you're actually having trouble with anything in the main story that doesn't require like a specific power-up, because some missions do, I would almost recommend like waiting. Like if you go through the bosses and you're just like, I fought, you know, Claraline like 7 times and I can't get the damage list run or the time attack run, there's no harm in just kind of putting that aside and then trying to go back to the fight when you have more abilities. I thought I pressed the control stick, but it didn't respond. So that was unfortunate. Yeah, without the stagger, this fight's actually a lot harder. And also, I guess Silly Dillo can actually grab Kirby out of the air, which I don't remember him being able to do originally. Alright, so yeah, this is not a great Silly Dillo fight. Yeah, you can chain dodges pretty well. Can you aim it? Yeah, you can actually steer the dodge too. I actually didn't realize that part, and that is extremely overpowered. So we can actually approach Silly Dillo by doing like dodges, like, and kind of steering them towards. So yeah, this is a very good ability as the main lesson that we're learning. Kirby, don't let your guard down. Your foes will only get wilder from here. It's honestly fun when you have a game this new, having a lot of things that you don't necessarily know and have to find out on your own. So like, with Morpho Knight's sword, it's like, yeah, I would just kind of literally, I've used this ability a lot on my own file, and in this playthrough, and I just now realized, yeah, you can straight up steer the teleport dodge, which is absurd, actually. Like, the dodge is good anyway, without realizing that. But when you can actually control it, that makes it so much better. Alright, so we are at this crossroad again of, do we actually heal, or do we try this? So we have Meta Knight, or at least it appears to be Meta Knight. And we're being given Masked Hammer, but this is like a case where we would probably switch immediately back to Sword. Again, you can either pick up the Sword in the fight to switch over to Sword, or you can attack the Sword, hit it away if you don't want to use Sword for this fight. Needless to say, we'll be using Sword for this fight. The Lone Illusion Phantom Meta Knight. So yeah, Meta Knight being a Coliseum boss was not in the Isolated Isles. So this is the first time we're actually seeing Phantom Meta Knight. That works differently now. He will teleport around you to throw you off. So this is a very bad start to this fight. We're almost dead, and we're just beginning. So let's play this a little bit safe. Again, definitely should have healed in hindsight, but we'll give this a go. Dodging whenever possible. If we can actually get the counter to work, that'll be great. But that's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. I feel like that attack wave is a lot bigger. So now he should be switching over to the rock attack. I'm actually trying to remember if Phantom Meta Knight actually has a figure or any kind of like info. I actually don't remember seeing a figure in my own playthrough. That doesn't mean there isn't one, I might just be forgetting. We'll definitely double check at some point. So let's actually get ready for this time. Works the same as in the main fight. He'll lose Galaxia and then swap over to a different sword. I double-checked, and this is technically kind of named Galaxia. I think it was named in Kirby's Epic Yarn, but the name actually originates from the anime. Also with Galaxia, Meta Knight's final smash is I think called Galaxia something, Galaxia Darkness or something. So yeah, Galaxia is sort of the canon name, even though it originated from the anime, and it has been incorporated into the games. A lot of elements from the Kirby anime have actually been incorporated into the games, like Mass Attack had a lot of cameos. Alright, this feels very dangerous, so let's play this a little bit safe, as we have no health left. Each enemy is more powerful than the last. Patch yourself up and fight on. Alright, so I think we have time to get through the next fight against a Phantom Forgodd D2D. I did opt to heal, which I might regret because we won't have as many tomatoes for next time, but we'll see how this goes. So yeah, that generates lava, the whole platform is tilting. Let's try to use the charged sword to deal a ton of damage. Wasn't able to dodge out of the way, sadly. But yeah, at this point in the game, basically everything does damage. Like, I mean, even when guarding, things will hurt quite a bit. So, yeah, definitely consider dodging more and guarding less. Because, yeah, even if you're guarding, it's gonna be a bad time. If you have sword beams, this fight's a lot easier because you can actually attack D2D while he's running around you. Otherwise, you kind of have to just wait until he stops moving, which isn't great in a fight that's this aggressive. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about this run. We are taking a lot of damage on the way to the final boss. Missed that, sadly. I do wish the sword, like, mid-air attack actually would also heal you, because that would make this easier too. Again, I wish a lot of things healed that don't actually heal you as Morpho Knight Sword. Still though, this isn't going too badly. Summoning a bunch of enemies. He's still in it, folks. We expect nothing less from the Pink Demon himself. In hindsight, I actually made a small mistake in that fight. I should have not defeated the enemies as quickly as I did. Or I shouldn't have defeated D2D as quickly as I did, because I could have healed off of the regular Beast Pack enemies. So whoops, I could have gained back a lot more health. We have 3 more fights. Looks like Forgodd Leon is up next. So we are actually going to stop here for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Kirby and the Forgotten Land.